Morning, guys. Let's look at the homework questions of exercise 3A. So let's look at the question. The first question that we do is question 3. It says calculate compound interest on rupees 6,000. So principal is given equal to rupees 6,000 in 3 years. So N is 3 years compounded yearly, which means compound interest yearly if the rates are 5%, 8%, and 10%. So we know amount is equal to principal 1 plus R1 upon 100, 1 plus R2 upon 100, and since there are 3 years, which means 1 plus R3 upon 100. Let's substitute values. What we get is amount is equal to 6,000, 1 plus 5 upon 100, 1 plus 8 upon 100, and 1 plus 10 upon 100. So this is 10, this is 5, 1, 520. I don't want to simplify this. I would much rather cut these zeros with the 6,000. So this is 6,000 into, that's 20 into 120 plus 1, 21 upon 20 multiplied with 108 upon 100 multiplied with 11 upon 10. So let's cancel these two zeros. Let's cancel this one more zero. What I'm left with is 2, 1 and 2, 3. So amount is equal to 3 into 21 into 108 into 11 upon 10. Big calculation. So that's 21 into 3. That's 63 into 11 into 108 upon 10. 63 into 11. That's 693. Yes, 3636. 396. So 693 into 108 upon 10. Okay. So let's do the calculation. 693 into 108. That's 3 into 8, 24. 72 plus 2, 74. 48 plus 7, 55. And this is nothing, 0, 0. So this is 3, 9, 6. 4, 4, 8. 9 plus 5, 14. 7, 4, 8, 4, 4, which means amount is equal to rupees 7484.40. Since this is money, I write it with two decimal places. So that's the amount, which means compound interest will be equal to amount minus principal. That's 7484 minus 6,000, which is rupees 1484.40. Nothing in this question as long as you remember a formula and you do some complicated long multiplication and division. Right, let's look at the next one. The next one was question number 4. What sum of money will amount to rupees 5445 in 2 years? So principal, let principal be rupees P, we don't know. N is 2 years and R is 10% compound interest. The only formula we know is A is equal to P. So A, in this case, A is equal to P times 1 plus R upon 100 raised to the power N. Let's substitute values. A is given as 5445. P we don't know. 1 plus R is 10 upon 100 raised to the power 2. So 5445 is equal to P multiplied with, that's 11 upon 10 multiplied with 11 upon 10, which means P will be equal to 5445 into 10 into 10 upon 11 upon 11. That's 11 1, 11 4, 44, that's 104. That's 1199, that's 55, that's 1155. This is 11 1, 11 4, and 11 5. Therefore, principal is equal to rupees 4,500. So 4,500 will amount to 5445 in 2 years at 10% interest. Next one. The next homework question was question number 6. Find the sum on which compound interest for 3 years at 10% is 1655. So compound interest is given equal to 1655. P we don't know. R 10% and N is 3 years. So the compound interest formula we know is compound interest is equal to principal 1 plus R upon 100 raised to the power N minus 1. Basically, we are multiplying P with 1 plus R upon 100 raised to power N, that's the amount, and P with 1, that basically is from amount we are subtracting principal. So compound interest is given equal to 1655. This is equal to principal times 1 plus r is 10 upon 100 raised to the power, in this case 3 minus 1. So this is p times 1 11 upon 10 cube minus 1. That's equal to 1655. Okay. What this means is 1655 is equal to p times 11 cube, that's 1331 upon 10 cube, that's 1000 minus 1. Let's take LCM, and what we get is 1331 minus 1000 upon 1000, and this is equal to 1655, which means 1655 is equal to p times 331 upon 1000, which means p is 1655 into 1000 upon 331. Now 331 into 5 times is 1655, therefore principal is equal to rupees 5000. So 5000 rupee will give you a compound interest of 1655 in 2 years, sorry, in 3 years. The next one we have is question number 7, which says what principal will amount to rupees 9856. So amount is rupees 9856 in 2 years. So n is 2 years if the rates are 10% and 12%. So there are two different rates for 2 years. So we know the formula. Amount, which is 9856, is equal to principal times 1 plus R1, in this case 10 upon 100. Oh, I wrote this rate wrong. The R2 is 12, not 10 the way I've written. So R2 is 12 multiplied with 1 plus R2, in this case 12 upon 100. Let's simplify. This is 4 into 3, 4 into 25. So 9856 is equal to p times 11 upon 10 multiplied with 25 into 1, 25 plus 3, 28 upon 25. Therefore, p will be equal to 9856 into 11 into 25 upon, sorry, not into 11, into 10. Right? When I cross multiply, I will multiply these here. So 9856 into 10 into 25 divided by 11 into 28. Let's see if anything is divisible by 11. 9 plus 5, 14. 8 plus 6, 14. Yes, so this will be divisible by 11. 11 into 1, 11 into 8, 88. That's 105. So 11 into 9, 99. So that will leave us 6. 11 into 6, 66. This is divisible by 4. This is also divisible by 4. So let's try. That's 4 into 7. This is 4 into 2, 8. 4 into 2, 8. That's 16. So that's 4 into 4. 224 divisible by 3. Oh, sorry, divisible by 7. Yes, 7 into 1. 7 into 3, 21. That leaves 14. So that's 32. Therefore, principal is equal to 32 into 10 into 25. Let's multiply. So 32 into 25. So that's 5 into 2, 10, 15 plus 1, 16, 2 into 2, 4, 2 into 3, 6, 0, 6 plus 4, 10, and 800. So this is 800 with 1 extra 0. So that's principal is equal to rupees 8,000. So 8,000 will amount to 9856 in 2 years if rate for first year is 10 and rate for second year is 12. Good, let's look at the next one. The next one that we have is question number 10. It says, at what rate percent compound interest does a sum become 1.44 times itself in 2 years? Now, these kind of questions are usually not asked in the ICSE exam, where there is a relation which says it becomes twice of itself, 1.44 times, or any such relation. These questions are usually not asked, but let's look at these questions. They are fairly simple. So what rate percent per annum, which means R is, let's say is R, does a sum become 1.44 times itself? Let P is equal to rupees P, and amount they are saying is 1.44P. 1.44P. What we need to calculate, so N is equal to 2. What we need to calculate is R. Let's put it in the formula. Amount, which is 1.44P, is equal to principal, in this case P, 1 plus R upon 100 raised to the power N, in this case 2. Dividing both sides by P, what I get is 1.44 is equal to 1 plus r upon 100 raised to the power 2. Now, what I need to find is on the left hand side, I need to have a number with a power 2 so that I could take square root of both sides. So let's see if I can write 1.44 in a manner which will give me something to the power 2. I can write 1.44 as 144 upon 100, and this is equal to 1 plus r upon 100 raised to the power 2. All I have done is written 1.44 as 144 upon 10. I know 144 is 12 square, 100 is 10 square. So this is 12 upon 10 square is equal to 1 plus r upon 100 raised to the power 2. Taking square root of both sides, what we get is 12 upon 10 is equal to 1 plus r upon 100, which means r upon 100 is equal to 12 upon 10 minus 1, which is equal to 12 minus 10 upon 10. So r upon 100 is equal to 2 upon 10. Therefore, r is equal to 2 into 100 upon 10. That's equal to 20%. So rate is 20% per annum. So if the rate is 20% per annum, then at the end of 2 years, an amount will become 1.44 times itself. But let's look at the next one. The next one that we do is question number 12. It says a person invests rupees 5,000, so P is rupees 5,000. Next, for 3 years, N is 3 years, compound interest. Amount at the end of 2 years is 6272. So amount at the end of 2 years is 6272. Find the rate, find the amount in 3 years. So we know amount, which is 6272, is equal to principal. In this case, 5,000, 1 plus r upon 100 raised to the power 2. This is at the end of 2 years. So dividing both sides by 5,000, what we get is 1 plus r upon 100 raised to the power 2. By the same logic, what I need to do now is do something with this so that my left hand side now is of the form something square. So something square on the left hand side and 1 plus r upon 100 square on the right hand side. If I take square root, whatever is inside will be equal to 1 plus r upon 100. That's my basic objective. So let's see if I can convert 5,000 into a square of 100, or if I can simplify it and do something with it now. So let's see what would be divisible, as in what can I divide these two by. Okay, so let's divide this by 4. Yes, divisible by 4 for sure. So 4, 1, that's 10, 4 into 2, 8, that's 20, 5 and 0. This is 4, 1, that's 4, 22, 4 into 5, 20. Next is 27, so which means 4 into 6, 24. Next is 32, which means 4 into 8. Yes, this is correct. And now I notice 2 is still a factor, which means this is 625. Yes, this is 625, and this will be 2 into 7, 14, 16. So that's 8 and 4. So now what we have is 784 upon 625. I don't have any other factors common between the numerator and denominator. I notice that 784 is 28 square and 625 is 25 square. So now that I have the left hand side also in the form of a square, I can take square root of both sides. So taking square root of both sides, what I get is 28 upon 25 is equal to 1 plus r upon 100, which means r upon 100 is equal to 28 upon 25 minus 1, which means r upon 100 is equal to 28 minus 25 upon 25. R upon 100 is equal to 3 upon 25. R is equal to 100 into 3 upon 25. 25 1, 25 4. Therefore, R is equal to 12% per annum. Done. Let's move. So the only trick that I want you to understand here is if you get a question like this, then and on the right hand side you have a square, you will have to convert your left hand side in the form of a square, so that by taking the square root sign goes away. Good. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we're doing is question number 13. It says, in how many years will 7,000 amount to 9317 at 10%? So the amount is 9317, principal is 7,000, 1 plus r is 10 upon 100 raised to the power n. So this is 9317 divided by 7,000 is equal to 11 upon 10 raised to the power n. Now, similar question as last time, but this time the n is missing, which means I have to do something on the left hand side so that whatever number I get here and 11 upon 10, whatever number is here, they will be equal if I get the left hand side as 11 upon 10 raised to power something. So I have to convert this into 11 upon 10 somehow so that I could equate the two powers. Let's see if there's anything common between 9317 and 7000. So 9317 upon 7000 is equal to 11 upon 10 raised to the power n. I notice that 7 is a common factor. So 7 into 1000, this is 7 into 1, 7, 23. That's 7 into 3, 21. Again 21, which means 3 and 1. Now I notice 1331 is 11 cube and 1000 is 10 cube. So this is 11 upon 10 cube is equal to 11 upon 10 raised to power n, which means n is equal to 3 years. So we've got this answer as well. Let's look at the next one. The next one we do is question number 16. Question number 16 says, a sum of rupees 44,200 is to be divided between John and Smith, who are 12 years and 14 years old. It has to be divided in such a way that the portions are invested at 10% and they will receive equal amounts when they reach 16 years of age. So first let's talk about John. For John, let principal is equal to rupees P. Time for him, he is 12 years old and we talk about same amount when they reach 16 years old, which means for him n is 4 years. The rate for him is given as 10%. Right? Let's calculate the amount for him. Amount for John will be equal to principal times 1 plus r upon 100 raised to the power n, which means principal times 11 upon 10 to the power 4. That's for John. Now let's do the same exercise for Smith. So for Smith, what we have is, if principal for him was P, which means principal for him would be rupees 44,200 minus P. Right? So some part gone to him, the remaining part is with Smith. Rate for him is still 10%, and time for him, he is 14 years old, and we are looking at when the money is maturing is at 16 years, which means the n for him is 2 years. He's already 14, 2 more years before he becomes 16 years old. So amount for Smith is equal to principal time, that's 44,200 minus P times 1 plus R, in this case 10 upon 100 raised to the power 2, which means 44,200 minus P times again 11 upon 10 square. That's amount for Smith. As per the question, amount for Smith is equal to amount for John. Since amount for John is equal to amount for Smith, let's give this an equation number. Let's call it 1. Let's call this 2. When we equate them, what we get is P multiplied with 11 upon 10 raised to the power 4 is equal to 44,000 minus P multiplied with 11 upon 10 raised to the power 2. I notice that 11 upon 10 square is common on both sides, so dividing both sides by 11 upon 10 square, what I am left with is P times 11 upon 10 square is equal to 44,200 minus P. Yes, I have divided both sides by 11 upon 10 to the power 2, and this power gets changed to 2. Let's try and open the bracket and see what do we get. So this is 121 upon 100p is equal to 44,200 minus p. Let's cross multiply. What I have is 121p is equal to 44,200 multiplied with 100, which means two more zeros, minus 100p. Let's take 100p on the other side. That's 121 plus 100, that's 221p is equal to 44,200 with two more zeros, which means p is equal to 44,200 with two more zeros upon 221. I think this will get divided by 2. For 221 into 2 is 442, and after that there are 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore John's share is rupees 20,000. Next, Smith's share will be 44,200 minus P, which means that will be 44,200 minus 20,000, which is rupees 24,200. Done. Next, amount they will receive at the end of 16 years of age, which means we need to calculate the amount. So we know amount is equal to, in this case, if I look at equation 1, amount is 20,000 multiplied with 11 upon 10 into 11 upon 10 into 11 upon 10 into 11 upon 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I have is 2 into 11 into 11 into 11, that's 1331 multiplied with 11. So that's 22 into 1331. And this answer would be rupees 29,282. I've already done this calculation, so this is 29,282 is the amount that they get at the end of 16 years. And then this brings me to the last homework question that we had. The last homework question is question number 18. It says find the difference between SI and CI on rupees 8,000 in 2 years at 5%. Let's calculate the SI first. So simple interest will be equal to principal, which is 8,000 into rate 5 into time upon 100. So that's 80 into 10, that's rupees 800. Let's calculate compound interest. Compound interest will be equal to principal times 1 plus r, in this case 5 upon 100 raised to the power 2 minus 1. So this is 5 1, 5 20. So this is 8,000 times 21 upon 20 square minus 1. That's equal to compound interest. Compound interest is equal to 8,000 times 441 upon 400 minus 1. Let's take the LCM. So compound interest is equal to 8,000 times 441 minus 400 upon 400. So this is 8,000 multiplied with 41 upon 400. These two zeros gets cancelled. 4 1, 4 into 2 with a 0. That's 41 into 2. That's 82 with a 0. So rupees 820. So compound interest is 820. Simple interest is 800. Therefore, CI minus SI is equal to 820 minus 800, which is equal to rupees 20. Therefore, CI minus SI is equal to rupees 20. Perfect. That brings me to an end of this video. Take care. Be safe. I'll see you with the next video. Bye-bye.